Alright guys, Simon here, and we're slowly trying to figure out how to make computer games, and I bought a tablet, the Intuos Pro Small. So in the last video I was talking a little bit about, whether or not I should get a tablet and whether or not I should get a good one or a cheap one. And a lot of people on the internet talk about here's the pen. A lot of people on the internet talk about, if you're just starting off, just get a cheap one. You don't need tilt, you just need pressure sensitivity and start drawing and stuff like that. But then, I talked to one of my friends from architecture school, and she loves drawing, and I described to her like what is pressure, right, and then there's like tilt, right, and and she said no, get the tilt. Like she immediately understood what it meant to have kind of two variables on it, like two variables at the same time, right? So the tilt and the pressure. So and I thought that too, except that I was believing the internet and maybe I don't need it. So she said get it, and then told my mom. My mom doesn't do any drawing; she doesn't know any drawing, but she said get the tilt too, probably because of the way I explained it to her. Because when I explained it, I don't know if I explained it to you guys, but I know what I'm going to do with the tilt. So if you know what you're going to do with it, then obviously you have to get it. Um, all right. So, but just to kind of make sure we understand what's going on here, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've been using this tablet. Well, I've been trying to set up this tablet for like an hour and a half, and I haven't really drawn for years. And I've used GIMP for like 2 weeks in total. So I don't really know what I'm doing. Although I do know a little bit about how to draw, but I'm still trying to learn how to set this up and trying to learn the software and all that. So at the moment we have. Can you guys see? Can you guys see the pen? Can you hold on? Let me just. How do you want it? Do you want my face or do you want? No, this is not going to work because I'm just. In order to get that, I'm just tilting because I'm on a laptop, and now I can't see the screen anymore because you guys can see that anyway. So I'm trying to set up this. I'll just show you a little bit, I guess. Hold on, let me just try this out. So at the moment, I've got it set up so that we got pressure, and then we got size if you tilt. So size and pressure, and on the other side is the eraser. Similar thing, you kind of erase all of that because you don't really want that. So that kind of describes to you what I mean when I say I kind of know what to do with the pressure and the tilt, as in, I know that I wanted small lines, big lines, small lines, big lines, and I knew that I could do that, and I knew I wanted to do that too. So there you go. Hold on, let me just turn my screen back up so I can see it. And I'm sorry you can't see the board. Look, the webcam I'm on a laptop, right? So the webcam is right there. It's kind of stuck to the screen there. Is that good? Let me just raise that a little bit. All right, it's good. So the screen is stuck to the laptop, so I can't really do anything about that. There's something else that I want to set up though. So it took me a while to figure out how this stuff works. Let me just not use the pen because I'm not very accurate with it as a mouse. So you got the mapping matrix here. So you see Simon pressure tilt. So I just made my own settings. So I got opacity to pressure, and I got size to tilt, which is basically what I want. Although you can do other stuff like flow and stuff like that. You can kind of hardness. I was trying with hardness and velocity as well, so that the faster you move the pen, the fuzzier it gets. I might go back to that after I've gotten used to this, but not sure if that's a good idea or not, because it becomes kind of difficult. I still actually like the idea of it though. So what if I turn it on? So if I turn it on here, right? So if you let me just get the big brush. So you draw slowly, and you draw quickly. See how it becomes fuzzy at the edges. It's not easy to control, but maybe that's just the settings. Maybe I can just change the settings and do that better. Anyway, I'm going to leave that off. So I'm still not 100% sure about this. So here we have pressure and opacity, right? We have pressure down here, opacity down here. For now, I've set it so that you don't have to press very hard. So if you just go with the default, it's like that. So then the pressure, you have to kind of press quite hard to get the full line. Although maybe that's fine. So I was trying the other setting before. I was thinking I'm going to do this, and then in fact I'm going to maybe do this so that the lightest setting, because a lot of times I've found that when I'm just kind of just barely touching the thing, it gets quite dark already. So if I kind of do this, and I'm trying to get a light line here, but it's kind of dark already. So I'm just thinking I should move this back this way. I don't know how much though. Move it back that way so that if I'm kind of just lightly touching it, it barely starts to draw. So that, I think that's slightly better. So then I can get kind of really light lines a lot easier. See that it's not actually drawing when I'm barely touching it. Then I kind of press down a little bit. So yeah, that gives me better control. That does give me better control. So I think I like that better. And okay, let me just delete all that. So opacity is like that. And then the size again. So size, for some odd reason, the size was like this originally. So what that meant was that, so if you're holding it, okay, actually maybe you should, I'm trying to show you guys. So here, so if you're holding it straight up, it's big, and then if you tilt it, it's small, which makes no sense. Like no brush or pen or crayon or chalk in the entire world would do that. Like, if you think of a real, like if you've got a crayon or like a chalk, I don't know if you, or a brush, I don't know how many of you guys have been painting before, but it's always that if you hold it straight up, it's narrow. And then when you kind of want a big smudge, you kind of just lean it on the side and you get a big smudge. So for some reason, they've set it so that it's the wrong way around. Like no real pen behaves like this. So I turn it the other way around. But I'm not sure about this neither because, hold on, let me just get my face back on. There you go. So I'm not sure about that neither because if we get the pen right. So I've got this thing here, size 200. This is an A4 page at 300 dots per inch. If that makes sense to you guys, if you guys know anything about how to set up drawings in it. So when I'm kind of trying to draw a thin line, I mean I can get it thinner, but when you're holding the pen straight up, it's not easy to figure out where straight up. So this is the thinnest you can get, which is great. But when you're trying to draw, you don't always hold it straight up and down. So then it's not really easy to get the vertical line. So I'm thinking I want to. Actually, I don't know if I want to move the tilt. So the maximum tilt, I'm thinking maybe I should move it there. So at the moment the tilt gets to that size, I should just draw one dot or something. There, that's the maximum tilt there. I'm going to move it back here. Alright, so that's about as big as I can get it. And then tilt up. And this seems quite natural. Like if I have it all the way here, how reliably can I get the largest tilt? I guess that's not bad. Interesting. So the tilt, it says about 50 to 60 degrees of tilt. Alright, so the maximum tilt is not difficult to attain. The minimum tilt is a bit more difficult to get. So I might want to move that along to there so that, wow, that is a really thin line. Hold on, what's going on here? So the thinnest line is like that. See, even there, I'm not that far off the vertical, but it's registering quite, wait a minute, I'm, as far as I can tell, okay, that's fully vertical. Yeah, so it's kind of difficult to maintain the vertical. I'm thinking maybe I should just kind of keep it there, like that. That might seem a bit extreme, actually. So that's as narrow as I can. Wait a minute. Huh, that's odd. Am I not setting this correct? Maybe it's not. How should I do this? Wait, tilt size. Yeah, I do want it like that, right? Let me just try that. Is that not actually registering? Oh, my bad. It's the other way around. It's inverse. Oh, my bad. My bad. It's in. Oh, wow. Hey, my bad. Alright, so the maximum size I was actually doing the other way around. I keep forgetting. It's inverted. Hold on. Alright, let's just try the other one. Alright, so maximum size is that. Which is fine. So maximum is this n. Wow, hey. Alright, I figured it out. So maximum size is not that difficult to achieve, right? So even when the setting is at the very corner, you can kind of get the maximum size. Well, no, you can't, because that's slightly smaller. Nope, that's the right size. Alright. Alright, good. So the maximum size is fine. The minimum size is this one. Wow. Okay. So here's the smallest line we can make. Ah, see that? So because this is actually at 0, so you're not actually drawing anything. So I want to move this up a little bit, don't I? So let me do that. So let's see if I can just kind of maintain the minimum width line reliably. Yeah, so see now, I'm just drawing this line and it's maintaining the minimum width, even though, you know, my hand is not entirely stable. Let me start tilting. Oh, that's a little bit too much tolerance. Let me just reduce that a little bit. So that's the minimum width line. So see now my hand is able to maintain that width of line even though my hand is not perfectly vertical all the time. And then I start tilting it minimum width and I start tilting. Alright, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's much better. Alright, so that gives me a bit more. So basically it means that I've got this much tolerance here to maintain the minimum width. And then if I start tilting more than that, then it starts to draw that line. So now I can kind of get light and dark and thin and thick all in one stroke, which is awesome. Okay, so I think I've finished setting up this. And this took a while to set up. Like you have to install the drivers in case you're interested. You have to install the drivers, and then you have to. Actually, it's not even that. And then you have to preferences, input devices, configure extended. Actually, no, that's not it. Input controllers, DirectX direct input. You have to add that to active controllers. Like tablet question mark. I don't even know if that's a tablet or not. So I was kind of putting this in because it's not the mouse, right? It's not the mouse wheel. It's not the keyboard. It must be DirectX. So that is the tablet. So you put the tablet in, and then you can start mapping. So you can see here. So there's got the eraser on one end, and then it's got the pen on the other. So there's kind of two tools in one pen, and it's got the X, Y, pressure, and tilt, and wheel, and all that. So you kind of put that in, and then here, under the brushes, like paintbrush, like in your tools, you got dynamics and pressure tilt, and you have to set this up yourself because there's none of the defaults they give you actually work very well as far as I can tell. Like I don't like any of them, so I have to make my own. So there you go. So yeah, after a bit of playing around and adjusting, I think I like this, how this is set up. So what should we do now? We should draw something. I was thinking I'll start easy and then just trace something. What should we trace? What's a good thing to trace? Let me just go. Well, I can't think of anything else. So I bought this one. It's 280 something New Zealand dollars. So maybe like 250 or like 230 US dollars maybe. So it's not cheap, not that expensive, but not cheap. Also, this is the small. I mean small. Like the active, like can you like see that the active area is the white brackets. So the white brackets there, that's the active area. But the entire thing is like that big. It's like maybe I'm kind of holding up to the screen. Sorry, it's probably like 80% the size of the actual laptop. So if you want to carry this with you in a laptop bag, you kind of have to get this size. Otherwise, like the medium is even bigger than this, and it very quickly becomes too big. I don't know why that is. Like, how difficult is it to just to make the active area bigger? I don't know. Like, why can't they make the active area fill more of the actual size of the tablet? I don't know how it works. Technology, man. So I guess that's slightly difficult. Is this still recording right? I don't think so. All right. Google, what should we find photos of? Well, I can't think of anything else. So let's do something that has something to do with the game. So in the game that I'm thinking about making, there's going to be a park. In the park, there'll be a statue, or there'll be a fountain. On the fountain, there'll be a statue of an angel. It's kind of specific, isn't it? So let's go in here and Google angel statue. And wow, angle stat. ANGEL is angel. ANGLE is angle. So I'm just gonna trace one of these things. What's a nice one? The story is about a kid who dies in a year. So I kind of want this, but kind of front on. That you want to face it. Like angels can be a lot of things. Some of these are like angels of victory. Like some of these, in fact, one of the more famous ones is not even a Christian angel. So angels came from, I think, Greek mythology, like people with wings. Nike of Samothrace. She's missing arms and a head, but this is a pretty famous one. So the amazing part is the her clothes, like a dress. Like look at that. It's pretty amazing. In fact, let me just go to web and Winged Victory of Samothrace. So it looks like that. I mean, look at the detail on this thing. It's carved out of stone. Yeah, so her arms and legs have fallen off, unfortunately. That's pretty amazing, right? Anyway, we don't want that. Because what I'm trying to say is, angels can be like mercy, or redemption, or messengers. They're supposedly messengers, but they can be like victory. And so angels can be a lot of things. And what I want is the one for dead people. which means angel of mercy, I guess. Not that there's any really good ones. I should find a famous one to trace. What to do. Although we can just trace anyone, I guess. See, the problem is none of these are quite what I'm looking for, so I might have to end up drawing my own eventually. But here's an okay one. Alright. What does that look like? Ah, Shutterstock, I see. So let's just steal that. Save image as desktop. And can we open that? Can we open that here? Desktop, stock photo. Wait a minute. Where did it open? There you go. Select all. How do you like steal this? Like edit, copy, and like edit, paste, and then like can I scale this? How do you align tool? How do you scale this? Scale tool. Alright. Let's make it. Wait a minute. It's not. Alright, constrain. Control is to constrain dimensions. Alright, scale. Good, awesome. No cancel. Let's move her there. Alright, so we've got that. And then we're going to, let's see, new pasted layer. And we're going to make another layer, transparent on top of that. And we're going to start scribbling. And basically, we're just going to trace. We just zoom in a bit, or a lot, or a bit. Don't want to zoom in that much, do I? Well, let's just not. All right, 3 fingers is that. Let's not do that. All right, let's see if we can just trace this, or how well we can do it. Why is it that size? Is that? Oh, okay, I see. All right, hold it straight up and down and trace around the edges. So we're not even going to pretend that we drew this ourselves. We're just gonna trace this thing. I really need to get used to the not tilting, don't I? Although I do want to tilt sometimes. So I'm just gonna quickly go around the edges. Doesn't really matter if we're not too precise. This is pretty great though. Like the control I have over this pen is pretty amazing. Alright, so I'm tilting a little bit. I am tilting a little bit. Let's not worry about that too much. Let's just do something rough and we'll figure out the rest later. Alright, so there's her hair. Yeah, so basically I need practice now. So the pen is set up. I just need to practice the tilt and the pressure and things to get used to how that works. The eyes are a little bit odd. We need to zoom in there to do that properly. Alright, that eye is a little bit strange, isn't it? Let me just erase that. Don't tilt. Alright, there you go. Erase that. Alright, let's try that again. And I guess we're gonna make up how this eye works a little bit. Too big. No, Control Z. Too big. Alright, close enough. That eye's still a bit odd. That eye is a lot odd. See, the problem with drawing people is mostly faces. Because, like, people pay attention to faces. And so if you get it wrong, people really notice. So, probably zoom in on the face, maybe. Let me just come into the face a little bit. And, nope. Close enough. She looks like a man. Her jawline's a bit big, a bit angular, so she looks like a man. We'll figure that out later on. Can we go scroll down a little bit? Where's the pen tool? There we go. Middle mouse button is the pen. It's the pen tool. Alright, so we're gonna let's see. Alright, so there's her arm. No, that's not really right, is it? Let's just get the arm mostly correct. So arm is like there, and then down there. No, that's not really right neither. Again, hands are also difficult. Like, if you get it wrong, people really notice. Because it's one of those things that, people pay attention to. I can't see that, like, it's really bright. How does the fingers go? 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. I guess she's just kind of holding on to that. Why am I tilting a lot? I kind of am, aren't I? Maybe I need to set the, reduce it. What is going on here? Size? Passing, yeah, that's right. I seem to be tilting more than I would like. Maybe I should reduce the sensitivity on the tilt as well. Alright. So there's that there, there's that there. And then her robe comes across like this. That's completely off. I do like the undo. It's one of those things you don't get with real life pens, is the undo button. And you can see how much I'm relying on the undo button to save myself from my bad drawing skills. Alright, I see. Although, no, that's actually probably right. That's probably right. Alright. Let's come down here. Yeah, the tilt thing is a little bit complicated. I know I wanted that. It's not easy to control though, is it? How does the... Alright, I guess it does that. And then her other arm does that. Around there. And then her hand down here. It's pretty good control. Like, I'm managing to get these lines pretty well. Pretty accurate. It's pretty good. I'm liking how the pen is doing right now. Wait a minute. Why can't I? Oh, wait a minute. Did I move? Okay, there you go. Middle mouse button. Thank you very much. What is this stuff? She's holding like a bunch of leaves or something. Ah, that tilt. Is that really tilting? It is. I'm tilting. Yeah, I'm just not paying enough attention to the tilt. And her wing is actually... Yeah, I can see the tilting going on there. What is... Alright, let me just get rid of that a little bit. Come back here. Try not to tilt so much as we trace the outlines. See, again, maybe I need to... Yeah, I think maybe I need to adjust this tilt across here a little bit. It's not... Yeah, I'm having difficulty maintaining the vertical of the pen to get this thin line. And there. Alright, good. Why is the... It takes a while for the thing to go back to the mouse instead of the pen. Do I want the stuff in front of a robe? Not really. Alright, I don't really want the flowery thing in the front of a robe. But I think we need to clarify some of these lines down here. Like maybe that line there, maybe like that line there. Huh. It does, yes, for some reason it takes a while for GIMP to realize I'm not on the pen anymore. And then I want to use the mouse again. Let me just put in... that's completely wonky. And kind of like that. You know, kind of like that. And then like, you know, kind of like that. What does that look like? What does it look like? It looks like a man. Funny. Wings. Let's put some more detail in the wings so I know what I'm doing. Okay. Seems like that'll do. Let's put some of these feathers in. And some of that. Some of that. And, oops. Whoa! And a bit of that. Why is it that she looks like a man? Maybe I should kind of smooth that out there. Nope. Smooth that out there. Smooth that out there. She does look a little bit like a man. Maybe we can make it a, maybe she is a man. Her boobs are a little bit flat. Maybe it is a man. Maybe it's not actually a woman. It doesn't really matter what gender. Angels are not supposed to have genders, I don't think. Originally, they don't have genders. Alright, close enough. It's not great. It's not great. But, well, we just need more practice, don't we? So, let's make another layer. Let's shimmy that down here. And now, what to do about the next part? So, opacity, should I turn the opacity down to 50? Because I want to shade it a little bit. And I'm not really sure how to... What I can do is take this and just go image or colors, brightness contrast, and just up the contrast. Did that actually do anything? Am I on the right layer? I am on the right layer, right? And then I got select all. Layer, colors, brightness contrast. Wait, really? It doesn't do anything? Am I not doing this right? Select all. Colors. Edit the settings as levels. Input levels. Output levels. I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing this right. Why am I not doing this right? How do you use GIMP, guys? It is the right layer. Maybe I'll figure it out later on. Alright, never mind. Alright, let's just move to there. Start shading, I guess. How should I do this? What I kind of want to do is like maybe like lightly. Let's go with 50 there. Um, where would the shadows be? The shadows would be like there-ish. It's not really working out well, is it? No, 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 that's not right. How do I... Can I want that to go wider? Maybe I want like... that's not right. Alright, let's try something else. Let's put shadows down there, and like there, and maybe like on like that edge of the robe. No, this is... Maybe I'm using the wrong tool for this. I might be using the wrong tool for this. I might have to figure this out later on. How does it actually look? Yeah, okay, I see. Maybe I need to trace a bit more. Maybe that's what I need to do. Yeah, I think I'm using the wrong tool. Maybe you use the airbrush for this. Alright. So I couldn't figure out where the shadows go. So let's trace some more. It's kind of like that. Right. Kind of like a bit there, a bit there. There. Alright, eyes are in shadow. This side of the face is in shadow. Alright, fair enough. And then that casts a shadow on her shoulders a little bit. There is a bit of shadow down here, not that much. It does catch the light quite a bit. That. And all that is in shadow. There you go. A little bit down here, not very much. Just a tinsy bit there. Alright, I might stop soon. Actually, if she doesn't have the flower things, wouldn't that line be continuous? It would. Maybe just a little bit there. Just a little bit there. I mean, the photo itself was kind of overexposed anyway. So it's kind of difficult to see where the shadows might be. Alright, is that better? Not really. Let's go with that. Clean that up a little bit. Yeah, I'm using the wrong tool. What I need is something with a soft edge. Like the airbrush. Anyway. Hold on, what's going on? I see. Let's add a little bit there. Just add a bit more color to this side. tiny, but maybe the it's too dark anyway. Add a little bit of color to that side. And a little bit down here. It's a little bit better. Yeah, there would be something here. I did deliberately leave out the flowers. Let's do that. Maybe I need the smudge tool. How do I... Alright. How does the smudge tool work? Dynamics off? Does that... Is that smudging? Can I use the mouse? Clip? Why is the... I don't know why the smudge tool is on the clipboard. Smudge tool? Wait a minute. It keeps switching back to clip. Why would it do that? Why on earth would you use that to smudge? Not doing great, are we? Not really, no. Slightly better. Slightly better. I think maybe the opacity is too high on the smudge tool. I should turn down the opacity on the smudge tool. Smudge that a bit. Fudge that a bit. Pretend that we know what we're doing. It's not great. I need to erase some of the bits that are in the wrong place. I'm using the wrong tool for this. I should have used the airbrush first of all. Alright, well, I learned a few things. And I need more practice with this pen, apparently. But aside from that, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I mean, if we spend like 4 more hours on this, it might turn out okay. But I'm going to leave this here. And yeah, alright. I like the tablet so far. I do like the tablet so far. Maybe we need... What should we do? I guess we need to practice more and try out more settings and tools and whatnot. And then we'll figure out some artwork. Let's clean that up. I mean, like the pen, it's kind of like a pen, but it doesn't work like any real life pen that you can think of. So it's kind of like this new thing that you've never used before, right? So to get used to it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like if you spend like a bit more time on it, you can kind of get it right. Eventually, it shouldn't be that much shadow there, to be honest. Let me just get rid of some of that. That's a bit odd there. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, I mean, eventually you can figure it out. I should try the airbrush tool. Is basically what I got out of this. I think this little exercise. That's a bit too dark. All right, fair enough. So there you go. So I think I'll take a break there. It's not bad. It's not like if you zoom out, it's pretty good. That's probably the other thing I need to do is like draw big and then zoom out and then it looks fine. Because the detail, the level of detail is less. Okay, what else do I have to say? What am I? Where am I? All right, face. Well, first of all, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm doing kind of okay, but I'm learning as I go. And what else do I have to say? It's like how important is tilt? How important is tilt? I don't know. I don't know. But given that I have some drawing experience, and given that I kind of can imagine what to do with it. Like, would I be okay without the tilt? I think so. I think so. But there's just things that you can do with the tilt that you can't without. Like, the fact that you can control two variables at once. Two variables at once. It's kind of useful. In fact, it's very useful. Haven't quite figured out how to use it just yet, but I'm determined to do so. And when I do, I'm going to do some amazing things, maybe, probably, sort of, kind of. Yeah. So should I? I don't mind, I guess. All right, cool. So that's the Wacom Pro Small, Intuos Pro Small. And I'm not a very good artist yet, but I'm trying to figure out the settings and the tools and whatnot. So basically, I guess what I need to do is try out the tool with these other things. Clone, healing, like the blur tool, the smudge tool, the dodge and burn tool. Effectively lighten or darken using a brush, like stuff like this. Maybe it's what I should be using. Maybe I'll go look up some video tutorials of people drawing with a tablet on the internet to learn a few tricks. I should learn the airbrush tool at the very least. The ink tool, let me just try these out right now. I should probably stop recording. I said I'm going to stop recording. So let me just move that up there. So the ink tool is kind of like pen for noobs. I can just do that. Opacity is 50 though, I don't know why. Oh wait, was I using the wrong? Oh, using the wrong tool. I see. All right, so this is like. So here, for some reason, pressure is size, and there's no control for opacity. So this is like the pen tool for noobs. Not that many ways to configure it. I should probably figure out that. Let's put that back to 100. Yeah, I need to figure out the airbrush. I think the airbrush is what I should have used, really. Pressure tilt? What's the size on that thing? The size is 20 on this thing. Hardness 50. What am I... See, maybe this is where I want the hardness to be controlled by the speed. I don't know how good that would be. So the airbrush tool, and then the more you hold it in place, the more it kind of just keeps spraying the ink, right? Yeah, I think maybe this is the brush that I really want to use for shading things, or at least something that doesn't have the that has the hardness going on. Yeah, I should have used this tool. I basically should have just used that one for the shading. All right, so I'm gonna stop. Okay, I guess I'm gonna stop recording here, and I really should stop messing around with these things. I mean, I got all the tools. I got music. I got engine. I can kind of draw, not really. And I got stories. So I like the pieces are there. It's just that I don't really want to work on this project right now. I still have to go back to the Minecraft thing and finish that off. So alright, so I don't know how long it'll be until the next video, but we got the pieces. We have the pieces of the puzzle, and anytime I feel like it, I can start working on this game that I want to make. And I do have a story to tell. Alright, see you guys.